in this sense is like a group of people, right? Relationships with a bunch of different people. It doesn't mean romantic relationships, but just almost like a family unit or a bunch of friends. And I'm not sure if you're surrounded by a lot of people right now, like if you have a lot of support, but it's just not enough to get you to the point where you want to be. But it seems like you have people around you, which is good. Because I mean, we have the sun after that as well, which is also, right, the sun. I think this is a good sign for, I think you're heading in the right direction. And you probably have been thinking about it, but maybe you haven't been acting on it. But whatever you are thinking about, those things that you like, I don't know how to even put it. A lot of us think about the things that we should be doing or need to be doing, but we never act on it. I think you should be acting on some of those things, especially if they're going to benefit you in getting back your strength. Whether it's, I'm just going to start doing like a simple workout every morning to create a routine so that I have something to look forward every day. Whether that's, I'm going to try to, use your recipes and cook myself something, 3 times a night, right? Or 3 times a week, 3 times a night. That's a lot of food in one night. 3 times a week, right? Taking time to do something more tactile, hands-on, to get all those synapses going off. Because again, right, when we're stagnant, we're not doing a lot, and we're in that low energy. We need more things to start triggering off so that it starts waking up, right? Our brain starts waking up, our body starts waking up. We can start doing more things. It takes time. It really does. What's going on, Malibu 9? Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. I've been there. I was there like a couple years ago. I think it was the lowest I've ever been. I've never been that low before. I remember laying in bed for like 3 days at a time. Like after doing, like I was working at Amazon, I was working for two caregiving jobs, not all at once, but I'd gone through these 3 jobs, and it really tore me apart mentally. And I remember just laying in bed for 3 days at a time. And after that, it was very hard for me to get to a point of like more strength and confidence of being able to do certain things. But after a little bit, like just taking little steps, right? Whether that was just literally getting up and going, making myself some food, that was a step towards gaining back that strength, right? And I think in this situation, start small. The best advice I can give you is start small. Don't try to do something big, major, like I'm gonna go run a marathon. Like, no, don't do that. Take your time. This is not a rush. There's no stopwatch. There's no one timing you. Take your time. Take small steps. Whether that's literally creating just a small routine in the morning, right? Like getting up, taking a shower, whether it's going to work or just making yourself something to eat before you go to work if you don't eat in the morning or something like that, right? It's creating a small routine and then adding to that routine. And then once you start getting that routine down, then you start having this foundation of like, okay, so I can do this. Now I can start adding other stuff and supplementing and taking things out and doing other things. And that will start bringing back, because honestly, like the confidence and strength can just come from simple things of following a recipe and actually getting it down, and it comes out really good, right? Gives that person the confidence to cook again. It just takes little things, you know what I mean? And again, baby steps. And then the giveaway dance. 6 of Shields. It's funny, I saw this, and the first thing I thought is that in a very ritualistic way, I feel like you need to almost give away yourself to the outcome that you want, right? I want strength, I want confidence. We hold ourselves back, right? And I think sometimes we just need to give away ourselves to that so that we can actually be those things and actually flourish in those things. Because most of the time we're just holding ourselves back, and it's like, oh, I don't know, like, or just getting stuck, right? It's very easy to get stuck and just not to do it. And I think the idea of giving away yourself to this, like, routine, this, different mentality, allowing some things to come in to create strength and confidence, like just giving away yourself to that situation. I think it's a big thing to kind of comprehend a little bit, but it's important. We have 9 of Pipes, Defiance. And it's in reverse. If you notice, this person, it's two parties that are like, one is ambushing the other. No, you're good, Malibu. You can join. I will put your name down. Right, there's 2 parties. One is probably ambushing the other. But in the reverse, it's a stalemate. Nothing's happening. Right? They're not eager to jump and go into the fray and fight. Right? They're just to me, that the reverse is like, there's just a stalemate. Nothing's happening, which probably rings true in this situation, right? Because there's not a lot happening. You may feel stagnant, right? Things are not happening. Restlessness, because like in this situation, right? These they want to fight, right? They want to fight, but they're not, and so there could be a restlessness as well. So you might be a little bit restless too, to the fact that you want to do this, but it's been so long. Like I just don't know how to take that step or go through that and do that yet, and that's okay. It really is. We have 8 of Shields, which is the Sand Painter. This is reverse, and it's funny because when we look at the Sand Painter upright, it's about someone who's taking their time with something and putting a lot of detail into it, and it's a piece of art, it's work, right? In the reverse, this could be that maybe either you're not putting in any type of effort and or detail into anything. It's just kind of like just doing the bare minimum, right? It also could mean that maybe something that needs to be done with ease, you might be trying to rush it a little bit, right? Like, because we as humans, we're works of art, right? And if you rush a work of art, it can really just look like shit. If you don't take the time to put in the details that it needs, it can really just come out like a mess. And I think in this situation, it may be one of those 2: slowing down and not pushing yourself so much, and or understanding that it does take a little bit of extra time and detail, but also it comes out very, very beautiful, right? And then we have the 5 of Pipes, which is Stickball. Very competitive stickball. Again, right, this is in the reverse, which makes sense in this situation. It takes strength and confidence to play this, right? Throwing the ball around, getting hit with the catcher, and it's in this situation, like it's understandable that you don't, right, in the metaphorical sense, you don't have the strength or the confidence to play the game right now, right? Like, and that's okay, right? It's okay. Like, no one's going to jump into like a game if they haven't been training or they haven't been doing what they need to do in order to jump into that game, right? And sometimes, I'm not saying life is a game, But sometimes you do have to get back into it. You really have to train your mind and your body to get back into the flow of the life that you want, right? Not the life that's out there, that's perceived, that everyone thinks this is the way to do things and blah blah blah, right? The life that you want. You have to train for that and get yourself ready for that. Vision Quest in the reverse. 7 of Vessels. In a sense, these vessels, right, they carry water, they support the people, they hold all sorts of things: grain, water, food, non-perishables, right? They're a major support structure within the tribe. And we're talking about the Vision Quest, right? This is also very, very huge, in a sense, a support system in which to get people to a point where they're ready to go forward, right? Because the Vision Quest is all about, and the thing is, it is about the man and or the woman becoming an adult, right? Becoming a man or a woman from a child, a kid. But it's also about understanding and respecting the world around you, because the biggest thing that comes out of this when you go out on your own is the fact that you realize how small you are in the grand scheme of the world around you. Because I mean, I'm not telling you to do this, but like if you go out and, you're camping, you walk out just past the firelight into the dark, and you stand in the forest, right, and you just listen. There's a lot of stuff going on, right? And of course, you can turn around and you see the fire. It's like, okay, I know where that is. You walk a little bit further, and you keep walking, and eventually you can't see the fire anymore. That is when you get to the point where, are you ready or are you not ready, right? Because if you can look back and it's like there's no fire, and you're okay with that, then you've gotten to a point where you're comfortable with yourself, and you're also comfortable with the fact that I'm in a situation that it's an unknown situation, but I'm okay with that, right? Because your strength and confidence is there. And that takes a lot. I'm not saying I'm going to walk out into the middle of the forest and be okay with it. Like, I'm still going to probably be a little bit paranoid. What's that sound? What's that, right? But to be able to go out there and actually have that confidence and strength, it does take a lot. And that's what this was. The Vision Quest was all about going out and being able to understand the fact that nature is going to humble you, right? The world is going to humble you. You stand out in the middle of the forest at night, you're going to be humbled by the fact that I don't know where I am. I can't see anything. There are things out here that can see me, and I can't really do anything about it, right? It humbles you very quickly. And that's what this was all about. At the end of the day, this was about humbling the child, that and not in a sense like humbling them, but making them understand when you're going through life, you need to have humility, right? And it's in the reverse right now. And I think what it's telling me for this situation is that you have been sitting almost in the dark for a very, very long time, to the point where it's not benefiting you anymore, right? There's no strength or confidence in it anymore. There's more of just a loathing, a depression, a fear maybe, right? But it's also becoming way too comfortable. Because again, like if you're here too long, it's not going to benefit you. It's going to start hurting you if you're out there too long. And I think maybe you've been out there just too long, right? And you did have strength and confidence at one point in your life. You did, but then you just lost it, right? Whether it was because you just got lost out there wandering in the dark, and there was no one out there to guide you back, and you just kind of accepted that and like, this is the way it is, and I'm just gonna accept it and just keep going forward. And I'm telling you don't have to accept that, right? I mean, it definitely tells me because you're here and you want this reading, you're done accepting the fact that you're not believing that you can't have strength and confidence in your life, right? You're done believing that. You want that strength and confidence. And that's a really good first step, to be honest. It is. Some people may not say that to you, or maybe it's hard for you to see that. But the fact that when I saw your question, I'll tell you that like it gave me a little bit of like it inspired me a little bit, because there's not a lot of people that ask that. You know, you get a lot of times with tarot, you get the classic, you know, romance, business, money, relationship questions. When you came in and asked that, that showed an authenticity that is a sign of strength and confidence that maybe you haven't seen yet, but it's there. The fact that you came in here and asked that question shows me that you have a lot of strength and confidence already. And I think someone saying that and actually showing you that is important, because again, right in the situation, the strength and confidence, if it's not there, the ego is also the ego is very, like, in a sense, dehydrated, right? It's not getting what, because your ego, you still need an ego, right? You still need your ego. It's got to be balanced, though. And I think hearing this, like, there, you do have strength and confidence within yourself to come and ask me for a reading about how do I get my strength and confidence back. That takes a lot of strength and confidence to even come out and ask that. And maybe you don't think that, but I'm going to tell you that it does. So, I don't think I want to put any more cards on this, because it's actually I feel like it actually kind of answered everything that I feel like it needed to be answered for you. If you do have a question, though, yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you have any. I can't think of anything. Oh, the mockery. The mockery. I saved this until the end because saying all that and telling you all that, and this isn't even going to be other people. I think within yourself, don't mock yourself, right? Don't mock yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Because I feel like maybe there are times where you might mock yourself for, like, trying to do something, right? It's like, oh, that's not going to work. Don't do that to yourself, right? And if it's other people, don't even listen to them. It's not right. We don't care about them. We don't. This is between you and you. But again, with yourself, don't let yourself, like, mock you in the sense of doubting and, like, telling yourself, like, that's not going to work. I can't do that. Don't do that. I hope that helped. I know that was kind of a lot, and I kind of went off on some tangents on it, but I think they were probably needed in order to kind of explain and bring context into some of these things. But I hope it really helped. I appreciate you as well coming in and asking that question, because honestly, that's a big question. A lot of people, I think right now, a lot of people are waning in their strength right now, and causing them to make bad or rash decisions as well, because they don't have that confidence to discern what is a good decision, what is a good decision, what is not a good decision. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish more people had more self-awareness and empathy and understanding for themselves, because I think that's one of the things that we miss as humans is, like, we really got to, like, be empathetic to ourselves, understanding to ourselves. Like, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to fuck up, and like you said, we have to kind of walk in grace with ourselves. We have to give ourselves grace. You know, like, because here's the thing, like, right, with my little situation, and again, I'm not saying this to take the spotlight in any way, because sometimes that can come off that way, because I've seen that. But to give a little bit of context, like, you know, the door closing for school for me, like, I could have easily taken that and just, like, went totally negative and just went, I was slightly depressed for, like, one day, right? But then I had to get out of that because I realized like this is not like the decision is made, and I have to keep moving forward, right? I have to have strength and confidence in the decision I made, and I did. I had strength and confidence in the decision I made. It still sucked, but having that strength and confidence allowed me to move forward a little bit quicker, rather than reminiscing and ruminating in it, and possibly just making maybe bad decisions in the midst of it, you know. So, or even like harsh, rash, impulsive decisions. So, let me write your name down, Malibu, so I don't forget. But I'm glad that it helped Eternal. Again, like also, I really hope that you, because I see like that you have strength in you have confidence in you, but I think you have to start seeing it for yourself, so then it can actually start being visible and it can start actually growing, right? Because like you can like, you can not look at a plant, the plant's still going to grow, right? I think you need to look at it, right? Find it, look at it, and be okay with it and allow it to grow. Because I think it's there. The confidence and strength is there, but I think you've been so used to just not having it that your mind is just dismissing it, and it becomes more of like a comfortable nature, right? And that, again, it's okay. Like we all go through these things, and it takes time, it takes steps, it takes a process. But I think just realizing and being self-aware of that it is within you is the first step for it to actually be seen, and it can actually start growing, and you can start actually working towards getting more strength and getting more of that confidence back within all aspects of your life. But I appreciate you coming in and asking that question. That was actually, because I think we all have dips in strength and confidence, for sure. You know, for me personally, definitely in my situation, I've definitely had drops in, like, you know, just not being confident. Like, what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do? But then the strength comes in as like, well, you got to do this. This is what you're doing. It's like, okay. And that's where Twitch comes in. Like, Twitch is where I for me, like, there's so many doors have closed now. Like, and Twitch has always been the open door. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to focus on Twitch. I'm going to put time into it. I'm going to put more effort into it, and build it up the way that I wanted to build it back when I was excited about Twitch. You know what I mean? I'm still excited about it, but I want to build this up, right? And that's what I'm doing. So I appreciate you coming, Eternal. Remember, take time. Don't rush it. Give yourself grace. Give yourself love. That's important. Positive impact. Are you here? I gotta grab some water real quick, actually, before I dehydrate to death. My name is Paz. Please use the Native American term for me. I would like to know what is heading into my path when it comes to romantic love in the year 2025. Currently single. Okay, I can do that. Let me grab some water real quick, and I will be right back. You guys can just chill with some lo-fi. I'll be back in like in a minute. All right, I am back. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so probably between now and 1, we'll be doing the last couple readings, whoever comes in. Once it hits 1, I will not be taking anymore, and we'll just go through the rest. So if you do want a reading, make yourself known. I took some pain reliever because it's like still. I feel like it's also like just the blood vessels get too tight and a little headache. Thirsty tarot. What's going on? I like your little thirsty. Welcome in. Would you like a reading? I'll put you down on a list if you would like one. Gotcha. All right. So positive. So we're doing, and you want the native tarot. What's going on, Uncle Jimmy's basement? It's not a creepy name at all, but I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow as well, Thirsty. I will be closing down taking readings at 1, so if you do want a reading, let me know and I'll put your name down. I will still be streaming after this, but it will not be tarot, so it may not be of any interest to you, but we will be doing some Talking Ashes of Creation, a new MMO that's coming out. I will be alpha testing it on November 8th, and so I think I will be kind of getting myself ready for that, watching some videos and getting some information. You would like one? All right, Uncle Jimmy, I'll put your name down. Gotcha. All right. So you were looking for love in 2025, romantic connections. Okay. All right. Kind of look into the year ahead. No problem, Uncle Jimmy's. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just shuffle these and let whatever falls out. It's a lot falling out. All right. I think that is quite a bit. I think that's good. Okay. Let's just do this. I know these ones were the first two. I'm just gonna take them. There we go. All right. My goodness, here we go. We're doing it. Okay, all right. So, let's go through them real quick. We have the One of Pipes at the start here. We have the Three of Vessels, which is Corn Dance. We have the Hermit in reverse. He's a trapper. Is that cat holding a knife? I feel threatened. I'm kidding. We have the One of Shields. We have the Nine of Shields, which is the Thunderbird. This is my favorite card. I love the Thunderbird. We have the Ten of Shields in reverse, which is Harvest. A little fun fact: where I'm at, I'm in Southern Oregon, just outside Klamath Falls, and they have a lot of oral story traditions of the Thunderbird being in this area, which I think is kind of cool. We have the One of Blades in the upright. Yeah, we do have a lot of quite a few shields. It's a good mix, but yeah, we do have in that three consecutive shields. Seven of Pipes, Counting Coup. Sorry for the bad angles. My camera's not the best. I'm gonna get a new one eventually. We have the Maiden of Vessels. Similar to the Queen of Cups, but actually no, Maiden of Vessels is actually the King of Cups in a sense. Because the women, it was a matriarchal hierarchy. So the women had a little bit more power than the men. And we have, for most tribes, not all of them, but for most of them, we have Chief of Shields in reverse. Your maiden is on your way. Or it could be you, right? Maybe you're on your way to someone. Just a lot of good stuff. I'm like what I'm seeing. The One of Pipes, Corn Dance, Hermit, Shield, Thunderbird. So, with the One of Pipes, for me this is kind of like an initiation of you wanting this for yourself. Because the pipe in itself is something that is used. It's, we talk about the peace pipe and stuff like that, but the pipe itself is used for almost what would be the term? Like coming to a determination that you want something, right? Using because you don't in historical context, they didn't just use the pipe all the time. That was not the case. They used it for very special occasions. And in this case, right, for marriages, for victories, right, they would bring out the pipe to use as a very celebratory thing. And I think, and sometimes maybe not celebratory, but maybe like a decision, maybe we're going to make this decision, we're going somewhere different this year or something, and right, for good omens, they would celebrate that. And I think, in a sense, you're coming to a decision that, right, I want love in my life. We have the Three of Vessels, which is the Corn Dance. The Corn Dance is basically the coming of the harvest, right? They're giving thanks to the harvest that they got. Also, in a way, setting up for the next harvest, right? Giving thanks and gratitude, but also understanding that you have to give this thanks and gratitude so that you do get corn the next year, right? Because in this situation, the gratitude and all that is very important the relationships with nature is important, and understanding that when something is given to you, you are grateful for that, and if you're not, you may not get it again. You know what I mean? So the corn dance is all about gratitude for what they have gotten and what they're going to get. So I think this is definitely saying be grateful for where you are right now, but also be grateful for what's coming, whatever that may be. The Hermit in reverse. I feel like probably you might have been just kind of chilling with yourself for quite a while, and we look. This is the trapper, right? He lives out in the woods by himself, trades with the local, the local people when he needs something or if he has something to trade. But rarely he doesn't come out to socialize. But in reverse, this is telling me they're coming out more. The song that's basically like, I think you're coming out, basically. And then we have the One of Shields. We have the cougar and the wolf on there. Two very, very strong animals with very strong predatory instincts, right? They're looking for something, and I think you're definitely looking for something, right? You're looking for something, not in a very predator way, but right. You're locked in, and you're definitely you know what you want and you're looking for it, right? Locked in, exactly. You're locked in, and then we have the Nine of Shields, Thunderbird. This to me is like a really, really. Some people might read the Nine of Shields as Nine of Pentacles. That's not how I read this card at all. Because the Thunderbird by itself in here, just the Thunderbird by itself, the meaning of the Thunderbird is ultimate happiness. Ultimate happiness. And in some senses, this card is actually sometimes better than getting the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, or in this deck it's the Medicine Wheel. To me, this card is like the epitome of your personal happiness, right? And everything that goes with that. So to me, this is a very, very, very strong card. And I think it definitely is pointing in the direction of you're wanting this relationship. You want a relationship. You've been waiting. You've been with yourself, and you've been you've been single. You're confident and strong in what you want, and that's good. And that's showing here. That's showing it, right? You're going into it with a very strong mentality, which is good. You're ready, basically, right? We have the Harvest in reverse. Now you might say, "Oh man, it's in reverse. What does that mean?" Well, we're talking about the harvest, right? When something's ready to be harvested, right? Sometimes it's not ready yet, and as of right now, right, there's still gonna be times where you have to be patient. Even maybe if you do find someone, maybe they're not ready yet, right? You can't harvest them yet. You can't pluck them from the ground yet. You gotta give them time to grow, and and all that stuff. Or you just got to wait until things are growing so that you have more options, right? And that's okay. That's good, and that's more safe for you in the long run. You don't want to pull up something that's not grown and it's like it's not good for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't harvest them yet. I'm gonna put that in my book. One of Blades. When I see with the hatchet, right? We always talk about that cliche, but also it's like burying the hatchet type of thing. And again, with that, it can go that way, right? But I don't think that's where it's going. But again, we have to look at all aspects of it and understand it. But with the blade, right? They're getting ready. They're grabbing the blade. They're getting ready. Whether they're going to use it for good or bad is up to them, right? So again, right, one of blades, like yes, the blade is there and you can grab it, but you have to understand, how are you going to use it? What are you going to use it for? Because you have the strength to grab it and use it, right? You have the skill to use it, but you have to understand what happens if I don't use it the right way, right? So be discerning in how you do things and how you go forward, especially because like maybe you have more confidence in what you're looking for and what you're doing, that maybe you hurt someone in the process, right? You just have to be careful. Still have that empathy and understanding and humility for all people, all the people that are coming through, even if they're not the one for you. Then we have the 7 of Pipes, which is counting coup. Right? And when we talk about counting coup, a coup in itself is basically when someone wants to take over leadership of, in this case, maybe another group of people, tribe, another branching off. No, you're good, Canadian. You're actually up next here in a few. You're good. I love this deck. It's a really, really good deck. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you were here when I was talking. This is the first deck I actually got. I tiptoed around it for 3 years and I finally got it. Yeah, in this situation, there are going to be people that are going to try to mislead you, push you out of certain situations, try to take your place, maybe. Competition, right? You be discerning. Don't stoop to those levels. Don't basically don't partake in that type of stuff, right? If someone is, you are interested in someone, but then there's multiple people going on and they have multiple people going on. If someone is interested in you, they're not going to have multiple people, right? They're gonna just, hopefully be focused on you, right? Or get to that point. And that's out of respect too, right? These days we don't do that as much, where like if I'm talking to someone, I've done it a lot, like especially on dating apps, it's so easy. You just talk to like multiple people at once. But in real life, if I was gonna go like date someone, like I would focus on them, give them the benefit of the doubt, see how we mesh, and then go from there, right? I would not be like dating multiple people like that, but of course with dating apps it's so easy to do that. You're just talking, right? It's nothing serious. But I think in this situation, like if you are seeing people in real life, be respectful, focus on them, give them the chance to show who they are, and make the decision from there, right? And go forward. All right, so we have Maiden of Vessels. This definitely feels like you, because the confident nature, the strength, it's all there, and I definitely feel that that's within yourself. And also with that, like it is the Maiden is like the highest. Am I confusing it? Hold on. I'm pretty sure it was Maiden. Yeah. Oh, matriarch. Never mind. Matriarch. I was confusing it. My bad. But this is still a good sign. The Maiden of Vessels. It definitely feels like you, but again, it could be the other person, right? It definitely could be the other person. But there's definitely a strong confidence, right? They have the bowl on top of their head holding all of these, whether it's food, water, it's all, whatever it's in there is important, right? It's for the people. It's very important. And so, in the sense, right, the emotion, the love, the understanding, right, up in that bowl, it's important, right? It's holding something important. And this person, she's not really smiling, but she's also very stern, and again, like she knows what she wants and what she's going to do and where she's going. There's no confusion. There is no like I don't. She knows, right? That from her, just her facial expression, she knows what she wants, and that's important. We have Chief of Shields in reverse. Now this could be a masculine side. of yourself and or the other person. And in what I'm seeing here, right, it's in reverse. Make sure that you are tapping into both sides, right? We all have to have a balance of feminine and masculine energy, right? And when they are off balance, they cause a lot of problems, right? Too much feminine energy, it can cause a lot of emotional and a lot of overthinking, and right, too much masculine energy, you don't want anything to do with emotion. You're just stubborn, you're just pushing through everything, you're hurting yourself more than you're doing any good. But if you have a balance, right, you have a balance of it, that pushing through is more like you're walking through these things and actually like, okay, this is what's going on right now, this is how I'm feeling, and you understand that, right? You're taking the time to actually understand it because you're balanced. You can actually walk through it. You're not like charging through it, and you're not being emotional and just, not really confronting it, really. So, balanced. It's very important. With this, definitely tap into that stronger, confident, masculine side a little bit, especially when you are like, right, you're going out and dating. Sometimes you have to make decisions with that masculine side more attuned to keep yourself safe, right? And we all have that within us. We all have that masculine and feminine side within us, and you have to make sure you're using them proper and balanced. Yes, a lot of, and the thing is, when you have a lot of confidence and strength, you're naturally going to be protecting yourself quite a bit with the ease of letting people in when you want them to come in, which is important. And that's where this is coming in, right? Make sure you have that masculine side balanced with your feminine side, so that protection is there, but also you can let people in. Because like strong masculine side, they protect themselves, but they can also let people in and understand, like, I can let you in this close, but I know I won't get hurt, right? That's the strength of knowing who you are and how confident you are in who you are, and like what you're, because some people are like, oh well, don't get too close, right? That's because it's not balanced. There's still insecurity, there's still a fear there. So I didn't do the overall. The overall here is silence, which is funny because, right, there's a lot of energy here, and it's funny because I can sense that you have a lot of energy. You have very exuberant, bubbly energy that I'm feeling, at least from this, and also from seeing you in chat. I can definitely feel that, and so I know for a fact that you're very excited and that you want to jump out there and just like, oh, I'm just gonna go and grab it, right? Remember to take time, sit down, within yourself. Go over all the things that you do want and that you're looking for. Make sure that you know those things, right? It's easy to get caught up in the feelings of like, oh, this is great. I haven't, I'm dating someone, but remember to sit down and understand, like, what do I want? What do I want, for myself? And yeah, like, it's important. It's important to take time for yourself, right? It's very important. But also, the Four of Shields is also just very good stability as well. And you're probably doing that, but remember to do that, especially in the midst of the entanglement of finding love. Make sure to take time for yourself. It's important. Yeah, Shields is everywhere. And I think also that's reminiscent to the fact, remember to protect yourself in these situations, because it's easy to get hurt with love. It's very easy to get hurt with love. So the shields are definitely a little bit of a foreshadowing, not that this is going to happen, but it's possible. Protection. It's always important when you're dealing with other people that you may not know completely, but you do want to get to know because of some sort of connection. You always have to just be a little bit, you have to be vigilant. But I hope that helped. I hope that was seem like that it was definitely ringing with you. Yeah. They're definitely getting the point across that like protection is important, right? And I think it's already within you, obviously, but to reiterate it, it's important. Protection is important. Exactly. And as long as you're doing your due diligence, you're being vigilant, you're taking time for yourself, and you're not getting too caught up in the love game, but you're still taking time to be self-aware and understand what's coming in and what's going out. You'll be fine. You'll be good. No problem. I'm trying to be better at not like going off on tangents, but sometimes it's hard. So I know for some people I might talk too much, and then everything gets lost in the sauce. Canadian Nut, you're up next if you are here. Let me know. And then Thirsty Tarot, you're on deck. And it is 103, so I will not be taking any more readings. These will be the last three readings. No problem. Positive. Pause. Appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you trusting me with your life choices. Although I'm not the one making any decisions, but I appreciate you coming in and asking the question. Canadian Nut might be tapped out, but we'll give him a minute here. See if they come in. If not, I will come back to Canadian, and we will give Thirsty Tarot, if you're in here, you may be the next one if I don't hear from Canadian. But I'll give a minute because sometimes people might be typing something out that they want me to read them for, so I'll give them a minute. But I hope everyone's doing good, chilling. It's been a while since I've done tarot on stream. I'm trying to set up boundaries in how much I actually do. That's why I was only going to do it for when I started at 9. I was going to stop at 12, but I added on an extra hour since I started an hour late. But I'm definitely dealer's choice. Oh, okay. All right. Well, because of dealer's choice, I'm going to go ahead and just do a spread for you, and whatever comes up, comes up. I will not choose, just because the universe will tell us exactly what needs to be said. So, dealer's choice to the universe. Any particular deck that you would like? No. I will do your reading, Thirsty. And Uncle Jimmy's. I'll definitely get through yours. Do not worry. I have the Native American Tarot that I can use. I have my X-Men Tarot. I have this is a custom World of Warcraft tarot that was created by a friend who was wanting to make a kind of a reward for a big RP event on Moonguard known as the Argent Tournament, or I forget what it's called, the Tournament of Ages. And she made this as kind of like a gift to like donators and stuff. So, and then the Hermetic. No deck preference. Okay. I think I'm going to use the World of Warcraft one. I haven't used that one yet. I think that'd be fun. It says, fuck around and find out. So this is like a custom where it's like she didn't sell these, she just gave them out to people who donated. And these are all player characters that are in here. And my character's in here. Although I don't play WoW anymore. I've been given up on it, but I think I found some other games that I'm going to enjoy. Alright, so we're gonna So I think in this case, because we're just doing a reading and seeing what comes out, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna draw 9 cards. Okay. Alright, you draw 9 cards. Okay, and overall, we have Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. First card we have, not bad, we have the World. Interesting, we have the Tower. Very interesting. We have the Moon. There's a lot going on here. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Interesting. The first 3 cards, being the World, the Tower, and the Moon, are very interesting. It's funny because you say dealer's choice, but I feel like there is something that is on your mind, but I think either you wanted to see if it would come up, or you just wanted to see what would come up. But I think there is something definitely going on in your life, something on your mind, dealing something with. Because I see the Knight of Pentacles overall, which I feel like is probably you, but I also see the Knight of Wands in reverse, which I think is someone else, and it's in the reverse. I don't know if this has to do with the relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, family, but I feel like there's something here has to deal with someone else. Because the Three of Swords, that right away is hinting at something going on, in the heart, soul, whether it's hurting or not, there, scars, whatever it may be. But then you have the World and the Tower and the Moon, the first 3 cards to pop up, right? You have the World, which is like showing for me, the world can mean a lot of different things, especially in the context of all the cards that come out. But when I see the tower and the moon right after it, right? We have the tower and we have the moon. I think the world is really pinpointing more at your personal reality, your world, right? Not the world in general, but like your world in specifically. Because we're getting the tower and the moon, right? Tower is showing us that you need to leave something before you get knocked out of it, and it's going to hurt, right? Whether you've left it already, I don't. That remains to be seen. It seems like it's definitely the fact that it's here. There's definitely some thinking about leaving something. It seems like, especially with the tower, and in the same sense, the world could mean moving into something, right? And the funny thing is, it's the world and then the tower, right? Because if it was the tower and then the world, I could say, okay, after the tower, you're going into something new. But the fact that you have the world and then the tower, it's telling me that it could be, like, as cliche as it could sound, this thing could be your world, but it is ending, right? It could be your world, but it is ending. And then you have the moon. I can see why. I can see why that you feel empty. Not specifically, but I can see why you might feel empty. And it's not going to be that way forever, obviously, right? But you're in this situation now. You're dealing with it right now. And it sucks, right? It hurts. It's something that you can't look past completely until you're actually out of it. It's very hard to see past those type of things when you're in that stuff, and I understand that completely. I shouldn't say I understand it completely, because again, for every single person is different. I understand a part of it, and then the moon, right? The moon for me, the biggest thing is always about illusions. It's always about illusions, right? With the moon, you look up in the sky, you see it bright. It's not really bright. It's just the sun shining on it, right? It's something else causing it to be bright. So it's pretending to be bright, right? It's an illusion. And the world, like, we could just read off of these three cards, right? And the rest of these are just extra cards to give us more, like, what is specifically going on. Just off these first three kind of explains the whole thing. And I think what's going on here is that I feel like you may have believed that this thing was, like, right, your goal, your destiny. This was everything I wanted, right? The world. And maybe you lost it, right? Whether losing it, believing that it was your destiny was the illusion, or the fact that you have lost it, but you believe that it is still something you want, it could be the illusion, right? The belief of wanting it still could be the illusion. And it could be that you don't need it anymore, right? There's a reason why that it needed to end and for you to move past it, but it still has hurt you quite a bit. Yeah, those three cards are really strong. The next card is the Six of Pentacles. This is actually, it's funny, like, this actually kind of makes me a little sad, a little bit. Because I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles. And I'm getting this overwhelming feeling of sadness, right? Not because of what I'm seeing, but possibly of what was. And I'm seeing a family. I'm not sure if something happened with the family, lost the family, divorce, lost kids, whatever it may have been. I'm feeling like this card it is upright, but it's feeling more or less like it's, I don't know, because right after it we have the Three of Swords, right? Three of Swords is just it's like just ultimate just despair, heartbreak, grief, and it coming after the Six of Pentacles. That I'm feeling it right now. I can feel some of the pain and some of the whatever. It could be grief, suffering, sadness, all that stuff. I can feel that. I just looked at the card and it just seeing the happy family really hit me. Seeing that happy family really hit me because it's between the moon and the Three of Swords, and I feel like whatever was, I don't know if the family is still a family unit, but it feels like it's not. And realizing that kind of, it pulls up this emotion of just grief. And then you have the Seven of Swords, right? I feel like someone took something away, whether it was your family. This is feeling like a divorce to me, is what it's feeling like. And the family's been torn apart. Something family related, something family related. But like just seeing this, it's just showing like it seems like someone has taken something, whether it has to do with family, something that felt like family maybe. I don't know. There's a loss though. I'm feeling something like there's something was taken away, and it's caused it's caused something. Eight of Wands. I think it was not great. It was never married. Okay. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is very, at least for this card, it comes up as a very like ethereal dreamscape, like you're kind of in your head a little bit, almost escaping from the reality to like the dreamscape of just kind of getting to somewhere that's not the reality that you're living in, that you don't want to live in, right? You want to be somewhere else. That's what it kind of feels like. I felt something with this, right? Family, whatever that means. Something happened. And again, right, I'm not asking you to tell me. I'm not asking for, because right, we all have gone through a lot of shit. We've all gone through a fair share of things, and we're all going to be going through a fair share of things. But I will never force anyone to talk about the things that have caused them a lot of pain. That's not my place. It never will be. We have Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. This is kind of solidifying that like you're probably not doing a lot right now. You're doing like the bare minimum, right? Whether it's going to work, doing what you need to do, but then not really doing anything else. Then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. I think I said married because I believe this is a female figure in your life. But in the sense, if we're talking family, someone in your family, I don't know, it feels like someone in your family did something that really, really, really hurt you. Maybe even traumatized you. Again, I'm not asking you to tell me, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Because you said, like, you kind of also said you're just feeling empty inside, and I can imagine why, with everything that I'm seeing here. Something happened in your life in the past with family that really, really destroyed like the child, because I'm like, even like in this, like, right, I'm seeing children, right? It's almost like your entire childhood was taken away, destroyed, and now living in this future with an emptiness, right? Because there was no like child, there was no growing up, there was just existing, surviving. It's whatever you went through was a lot. Like, it was a lot. Because I usually don't get emotional connections with most tarot readings. I don't get emotional connections. They can happen sometimes, but very rarely. They have to be very, very strong. And for this to come up that way, um, whatever happened was immensely devastating. And maybe in your mind it wasn't as bad, but like the emptiness that you're feeling now was caused by the situation that happened in your past. And me being on the other side and feeling that, you're probably numb to it at this point, right? You know, and I'm feeling this for the first time. It felt like just you had just lost someone. That's what I was feeling, was just grief. And I think in a sense you lost your childhood. You didn't have a childhood, and that's the grief that I was feeling. Because like the feeling of loss was so strong. It still is. Like, it's still like right here for me. Um, and I think that the one thing that, because this is hard stuff, right? This is hard stuff to talk about. It's a very hard stuff to talk about. But when dealing with these type of situations, for both parties, myself and the person on the other side, is coming at it with a lot of empathy and understanding, as much as that I can give. I can't give a lot because, right, this is a situation I've not dealt with. But as much as that I can come across what I'm feeling. And for you to come into the stream and ask and not even ask anything, but just, as humble as you were, just asking for a general reading, right? Because people will come in and ask for a specific reading, right? They know what they want. You coming in and just asking, I just wanted you. I mean, you've been through shit. You could have easily asked for a specific reading on this situation, but knowing that you've probably have been it's just been there for most of your life, right? It becomes just more of like, just kind of pass by it in a sense, right? It's there, it's still affecting you, but it's almost like you just kind of pass by it in a sense, right? And what I want to say is, like, this is a very strong reading, okay? And I'm not saying that you should have came in and asked exactly for what you wanted, but also I don't want you to sell yourself short in what you're dealing with, because what you're dealing with is not anything small at all. If you are going through depression and you are having suicidal thoughts, I want you to reach out to people, anybody, whether it's me. You can reach out to me, you can DM me, you can go into my Discord and talk to me. Because with this situation and what I'm feeling, especially if you've been feeling this for, 15, 20 years, whatever it might be, and it's been building up, and there is the depression that is there, right? And it's just been there. It's just what it is. I'm giving you an invitation to reach out to me. Because whatever you're going through, it it's causing a lot in your life, even if you don't you see it, but right, you're used to it. It's the you become accustomed to the darkness, and you just are you're just in it, right? And it becomes very difficult to know what is past that. And I think it just takes one moment to just reach out a little bit. That's it. And I know it can be hard. It can be just like this. I don't want to do it. Like, it's not worth it. I don't want to involve other people. I'm not worth it. I don't believe it's not true, right? It's not a shitty ass life, though. It isn't. You've been through shit. Doesn't make your life shitty, right? As of right now, yes, it probably feels shitty as fuck. Understandable. But there is a lot of. I'm giving you an opportunity and a chance to reach out, right? That's up to you, though, right? That's up to you. That is completely up to you. But it doesn't have to be a shitty life, right? You might be used to that because it's just been the way it is for so long, right? It just becomes the norm. Never has to be that way. And I'm extending my hand and saying, hey, you don't have to do this alone, right? You might be empty inside. You might feel like it's not worth it. I'm extending my hand and saying, hey, you're worth it. It's definitely worth your time. Your life isn't shitty. You've been through a lot of shit. Doesn't make you a shitty person, right? Because in some respect to this whole situation, it's very, very easy to become the thing that has hurt you, right? It's very easy. Because with all this pain and everything that's happened, and that's all you know for forever, how many years, it's very, very easy to just assimilate to that and become that, and then just it becomes like a loop of self-doubt, fear, hate, self-loathing, not wanting to help because you think you don't deserve it, right? And all it takes is one person to disturb that flow and say, hey, you're worth it, take a chance, reach out, right? And that's what I'm trying to do, because what you're going through right now is immense, and you may have been going through it for a long time, and it doesn't feel like very much anymore because there's nothing else to feel. I just felt it, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And I know in you know, depending on how long it's been, the last thing you want to do is feel it, right? I understand that completely. I do, 100%. But again, the situation that you're in right now, you have an opportunity to go forward, but it's always up to you as the individual. And it's hard. Like, this shit is fucking hard. Life is fucking hard. You know, it throws you every single challenge it can, and sometimes we're not ready for that challenge, and it fucks us over, and then we have to deal with the repercussions because whatever environment we're born into, whatever happens, we weren't ready for that. But it was still set to happen, right? It was still going to happen. And at this moment, right, this is that door opening, allowing for you to make a choice, right? Maybe you've never had a choice. Maybe you've never had a chance. Maybe you've never felt like, I don't know if I have actually a choice to do anything. I'm telling you, you do. You do have a choice. You do have a chance. And all it takes is literally just reaching out to someone. It doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody. But as hard as it is when you do feel empty and you do feel alone and you feel like you have no one around you, and some people don't realize what's going on in your life and they just can't comprehend it, which to be honest, a lot of people will never comprehend what we individuals go through and what we deal with, and that's okay, you know. And we have to understand that we're all individuals and we all experience things different. You don't want this life, and you feel why I'm here. To take the first part, right? I don't want this life. Whether you mean that you don't want to be here anymore, or you don't want to be in the situation in the life that has been created by the pain and trauma that you're in, right? I'm gonna throw you a hangman of a card here, because whatever you meant, I'm assuming what you meant by that is that you feel like you're feeling done with everything, right? Unless I'm taking that the wrong way. And then the other version would be you're done with being in the state that you're in with all of the the trauma, whatever you've been through, all the things that you've been through. You're done living in that world, right? You're done living in that world and you want to get out of it, right? You're done with that life and you want to move forward into something else that's going to be better for you. That's the hangman I'm going to throw at you. The different perspective, because 100%, like you've probably thought about suicide. 100%. I've been in situations where I've thought the same thing, and for me personally, it gets to a point where I only will think on it. Right, my stubbornness will never allow me to act on it. I'd have to be very, 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 very deep into it to actually act on something like that. Or lose all confidence and stubbornness and strength, for whatever reason. And if you're at that point, I implore you to reach out, whether it's calling the suicide hotline just to talk to someone, whether it's reaching out to a friend, whether it's reaching out to me. Reach out to someone, especially if you are having suicidal tendencies and or you're thinking about that, because I have no doubts that you probably are. 100%. And I believe that you should not be alone in that situation. And if you are alone, it's not good. As much as you want to be alone and be left alone and just do your own thing, and you want to just not give your problems over to other people, I implore you to give your problems over to someone else. Let me see the problems.